Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Keeping It Chaotic podcast. My name is Ava.
I am Cheyenne, and today is going to be a very fun or emotional episode. We don't know yet, but grab a blanket, a snack, fill your Stanley cups because this episode is going to be a really long one. I can feel it.
We can feel it. So basically, we're going to be talking about the One Direction hiatus in air quotes because
It's literally, they're broken up. Like, let's be real, okay?
it was never a hiatus, but we will get into all of that.
We're big girls, and you know what? We've accepted it's a breakup, but, sometimes people get back together. It's fine.
Yeah, this is a hard pill to swallow, so I think that we both really thoroughly believe that they're going to come back.
No, they are. They will.
It's a hiatus.
Yeah. An
They're coming back.
18-month one. But I think maybe they meant like 18 years.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So it's fine.
They'll come back eventually.
Maybe they just don't know how to count.
Maybe.
Things are different in London.
In Ireland, huh?
Yeah.
Can't forget the little Irish lad.
Irish boy.
All right, well, Ava, what's your current favorite of the week?
Oh yeah. I have no fucking idea.
Well, I just would like to throw out there, before we started filming this, Taylor Nation posted a photo. And how do you feel about that?
Not well. What did it say?
It was like a picture of Taylor in this Renaissance wig, and it said like something, how many secrets are in
this hair or something like that. Yeah. A very big Reputation Easter egg, and I am not okay. They need to stop teasing us because I just can't handle it. I'm getting like anxiety.
I think I'm gonna say now, I think Grammys, she's gonna be there.
Definitely.
She's gonna win something. I think she's gonna announce something, release something. I think something is gonna happen at the Grammys that we are not prepared for.
If she announces anything at the Grammys, dead on the spot. I can't do it.
I'm okay. It's also on my older daughter's birthday, and for some reason, we are like, I don't even.
A little fun fact about Cheyenne and her kids.
We are very Taylor Swift coded. I don't know why. It was not planned, but the events that have happened on each of our birthdays, like, what was Eliana, the first one? Was it something? I don't think so.
Well, Eliana's is that we think Reputation is coming out.
Yeah, so the Grammys...
Or announced.
Yeah, the Grammys is on February 4th, and that's my daughter's birthday. It's the same day as the Grammys. I said those are Grammys, right? So I think something's going to happen there. July 7th, this past year, Speak Now, Taylor's version was released. That's my birthday. And then October 29th, 1989, Taylor's version was released, and October 30th is my other daughter's birthday. So I just feel like we're just keeping it. I mean, it obviously was not planned. I'm not in communications with Taylor, unfortunately, but just the coincidence of it is just crazy to me. So I think if she's keeping the same timeline, I believe we're all like 6-ish months apart. I think something big is going to happen. Big Reputation, hopefully.
Yeah, so if she announces Reputation Taylor's version in February, thank Eliana.
Yeah. Thank her so much for being born, I guess. And thank me for having her.
Yes, thank you.
So, yeah. If you
appreciate it.
If you need to know a timeline for anything Taylor Swift coded, it's either mine or my two daughters' birthdays.
True.
I think other than that, my favorite thing at the moment is Zayn in Paris Fashion Week. I just feel like it's perfect timing for this episode because before those pictures came out, we had wanted to do a One Direction themed episode. We just weren't sure like how. And then when these pictures popped up and he had the blonde streak in the front, like what What's happening? They're like trying to kill us slowly.
Yeah, reverting back to his old ways,
Yeah,
honestly.
I but he looks so good. He's killing it out there, and I love any videos and pictures. Anything that I have seen so far is like he looks fantastic.
Yeah, I would say my favorite thing of the week is kind of like a bittersweet little moment, but Gracie Abrams' Good Riddance tour just ended, and it's the end of an era. I think this tour has been so special to like her fandom and like her so much that like it's hard to accept that it's over. But she is opening for Taylor a lot this year, so that's definitely something to look forward to. And yeah, you ready to just jump into this episode?
Let's just, rip the band aid off and dive right in. I have a lot of notes, and please forgive me if they're not in order. My brain just went like on the paper. Like I just wrote anything that I could remember because One Direction was such a huge part of my life. And like the real reason I guess I started like being a fangirl, like I was prior. I had a lot of artists that I liked, but I feel like One Direction was the first band, artist, anything that I was so invested in. I followed fan accounts, I had fan accounts, like it was just like you had to be there kind of thing to like experience that. And like for the girlies that are listening and understand, you completely get it if you were in this fandom. We were constantly on our toes.
Well, I honestly don't remember much of that time. If you watched like last week's episode, I think I talked about like how I don't remember much about growing up for whatever reason. So I don't remember much about this time if I'm being completely honest. Um so I'm just going to kind of say what I can and yeah. But I know that Cheyenne has a lot to say about the day that Zayn announced he was leaving the band.
I okay, I'm gonna wait on that because I will. I don't want to start this episode crying. I will say I think I was like in eighth grade when I like found One Direction. I think, how do I word this? The first like music video that I seen wasn't What Makes You Beautiful. It was One Thing, and I think they had already been a band for like almost 2 years. It was like late 2011, early 2012 for me. That's like when I had seen them for the first time, and immediately it was just like One Direction interviews, One Direction funny moments, like everything that I could possibly look up on YouTube, I had watched. And I was like, oh my god, they're so funny. Their music's good. They're obviously cute. I was like 12, 13 years old at this point, and I think like it just started this fun journey for me, and it like led to so many relationships and friendships and people that I still like currently talk to and are friends on in social media, and they were just a huge part of everybody's lives. And I think obviously when Zayn left, it crushed all of our little souls, and we knew kind of like what that meant for the band. Like they were so, yeah, we're gonna stay together, we're gonna keep going, and it just wasn't the same without all five of them. I mean, Made in the AM is a fantastic album. It's so good. But I think having five of them for so long, a different album every year for the entirety of their band was just like, we were spoiled. Like, we truly were. And I think being young and not realizing like these are human beings also, like they're going through their own thing and they can't constantly be working like this. We didn't realize that back then, but I think now that we're older, we're like, okay, it kind of makes sense why they needed to do this.
Yeah, I feel like as just an ordinary person, like looking back at it, I get how we would be like, "Oh, like they're celebrities, like they're made to handle this. They can do it. Like that's what they signed up for." But you take like a step back and really look into it and you're like, they went through a hell of a lot that we didn't know about in that time. Like, that's a lot of work to have to push out an album every year and then tour it immediately after and then be working on the album while they're on tour was just an insane sort of like situation that they had to go through.
Yeah, the first concert I ever seen them in was their Take Me Home tour. It was in 2013. I don't even know how I convinced my mom to go to this concert. I don't think I had went with a friend of mine, but like I was sitting by myself. So I think she was obviously very hesitant. Like she didn't want me to go by myself. And I was like, please, I will do anything to go to this concert. I need to see them. Like, just name it. I will do it. I don't care. And finally, I got her to agree. It was at Staples Center. And I think it didn't fully hit me until like they started singing Little Things. And I just started like bawling my eyes out. And I was like, they're real. Like, they're literally in the same room as me. 5 Seconds of Summer was opening for them. That was the first time I had ever heard of them. And it just, I can't even talk about it because I get all like excited and I feel like a little kid again. And it's just, I don't know. I haven't like felt that way about like seeing an artist other than Taylor Swift like in person and being that overwhelmed and excited. Because like obviously we love going to concerts, but just like the energy around you, like knowing that everyone around you loves the same people as you. And at the time there were like 10-year-olds to 21-year-olds, like everyone was there for the same reason. There was so much love. And I feel like the One Direction fandom was always incredibly good at like involving others. We were never like, oh, you can't come into this fandom because blah blah blah. Like we were just like, oh my god, you love One Direction. Like we were so happy to find each other.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's very different now. I feel like when you try to join a fandom, it's always like, well, you don't know this album or you don't know this song. And it's like, okay, I might not know everything, but like, I enjoy listening to this person's music. Why can't that just be enough? And it's honestly really annoying when you try to like make friends through social media because of music. And sometimes they're very clicky, I would say.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the time they're like, well, I've liked them from the beginning, and I have never said that about One Direction because it's not true. We're obviously not from the UK. We didn't watch X Factor live, and we kind of got the wave a little bit later than obviously people in like Europe and stuff, but I feel like we've also been in this fandom long enough to like be able to speak on their behalf in a sense. Like I feel like we all kind of experience the same thing with them and the same emotions, and every album is like a different part of our life, and within those like 5-6 years it just like made us into these people that we are today. It was a very crucial time in all of our lives, and I just think if or when, no, not when. I can't even imagine ever meeting Harry Styles, but can't even talk about it. I just like hope that they know like how loved and appreciated they were during this time and how many lives they saved and changed. And it just is kind of sad knowing that like they didn't enjoy it the entire time. But I mean, they did save so many people's lives.
Yeah, and even if like you follow the boys on Instagram, like Zayn posted the other day a picture of a letter that a fan had written him on his story and just said like no matter how many times I read a letter like this from one of you, it means so much and it always has and I just love you guys and like especially like coming from him, I feel like, you know, he's very like not on social media a lot and tries to keep to himself and that just kind of meant like so much to the fandom and like people that still support him.
Yeah, I feel like if I were to ever meet Zayn in person, I feel like I have always said I would never ask for a picture because he has said in the past he gets really bad anxiety. But I just want to like hug him and just be like, thank you so much. Like, we understand why you did what you needed to do, and like, I just hope that you're happy in life and whatever you're doing. He obviously like has a daughter now, adult adult
Doa?
but I just like seeing where they are now is so crazy. Like, all individually, their own careers and solo music. It's like they're all so different musically, but
And
you
they're all
can,
so talented.
yeah, but you can also, like, in specific songs, you can hear, like, you know who wrote No Control. You know who wrote, um, like literally any song. Like, you just hear a Niall song and you're like, I know what song he wrote or what song was inspired by him. And you just get these little tastes.
Yeah, even their solo music, like you can, there's still like One Direction roots deep down inside of them, like in their songwriting, just like everything about it, you just know where they came from.
It's a full circle moment, I feel like. But I think we should kind of throw it back a little bit. And what member of One Direction was like, that's him, that's the one? Your first time seeing them?
That's so funny because that was literally what I was thinking about talking about next. I was a Liam girl for a bit, but then I was a Louis girl for like the remainder of the time. They were, yeah, I mean, they could do no wrong in my eyes at that
Yeah.
moment in time. How about you?
I was initially drawn. Like I said, the One Thing music video was the first music
Did you
video.
say John? Did
The One Thing? No, did I?
you say John or Drawn?
Drawn?
Oh, you said John.
No, not John. It's not
I was like, who is that? Sorry.
the like the fuck's John? It's because I'm a real fan and I've known them forever.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Like I said before, One Thing was the first music video that I had seen. So initially, who I was drawn to was Liam, and then very quickly after, I have been a Harry girl for a very, very long time. Harry Styles, I love you.
Yeah, but who are you now? Because mine has changed.
I think I still have to go with Harry.
I now am like a not oh my god, my I now am a Nile girl through and through with like a dash of Harry and a dash of Louis.
Yeah, I mean, they're all still fantastic, but I think Harry Styles is my person. Musically, everything creatively that he does, I love it. I think I will say, I have it in my notes, it's might be a little bit of a controversial topic, but I think Zayn had the potential to be bigger than Harry if he didn't have such stage anxiety. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I don't think people are ready to talk about that or even acknowledge that, but I mean, it could have happened.
I think so. I think, like, they're obviously very different, both musically and creatively. Like, I feel like Harry is just so free spirited and just whatever makes him happy or whatever he wants to do, he'll do it. And he's just like, this is me, accept it. And if not, then, I'm not for everybody. I feel like Zayn has a very specific music type, like obviously R&B, soulful, but I don't think he is obviously as out there as like Harry is. But I do think that if he toured, especially the music that he released, like, I think he would be huge. But Niall is our bestie, so the amount of times we have seen him in just 2023 alone,
I don't even want to talk about it.
it's too much. Like, Like we've said in, I think it was the episode before, we have been to the voice taping a few times, like maybe more than a few, and obviously Niall the past 2 seasons has been a judge, so we get to see him. He'll like interact with the crowd sometimes, and it's just like he's so friendly and so like you can just tell that he loves where he's at right now.
You can just tell that he genuinely loves his fans and all the support that we've given him, and he's just the best. Very attractive Irish lad.
Yeah, I think we were robbed of brunette Niall in the One Direction days.
Whoever told him to bleach his hair, count your days.
Simon Cowell, we're coming for you. Yeah, we were definitely robbed of brunette Niall, and you know, we made it this far, and I think we were all kind of like shocked when he first went like brunette, but I think he just suits him so well. I feel like he is like his own person now, and he's not like the blonde one from One Direction anymore.
He's not the Ellen lookalike.
Yeah. Literal Ellen lookalike. I think my favorite Niall moment is just gonna be his I Heart album release party that we thought we were getting scammed for, and we didn't, and Niall Horan in the flesh was there.
It wasn't a cover band, it wasn't an imposter, it was Niall Horan himself.
Yeah, I got an email from Kiss FM. They were doing like this I Heart Niall release party, and
It didn't even say release party. It was like secret event, special
yeah,
event.
it was
didn't tell us
so
what it was.
secretive. And then it said Niall Horn, like HORN, like a horn that you beep. And I was like, this is gonna be like some cover band. We're gonna go in and it's literally like Ellen. I don't know. Like we didn't know what to expect.
A literal typo in like an official iHeartRadio email.
Yeah.
Like Kiss FM misspelled his name, and we were like, is this real?
Yeah, we were so skeptical, honestly. And then we weren't allowed to have our phones, so we were just like,
There's no proof of it.
no proof other than like a photo that we have that's on the outside of the building that says Niall Horan album release party. But we didn't know. We just thought, oh, maybe we're like listening to it. Like, no way he's gonna be here. Out comes fucking Irishman Niall Horan.
Literally like less than 10 feet away from us, looks us in the eyes.
It's just too much. And then they like JoJo on the radio interviews him, and we think, okay, that's it. Nope. He's like, and here's Niall Horan, sings an entire set list. And we are like, what? There's maybe 100 people in this building. We are on the floor right next to the stage. Like, I could have jumped on that stage and been right next to him. How?
Especially where we were standing, like the exit was right next to us. So we could like run backstage if we wanted
Yeah.
to and like attack him.
And then, you know, we were enjoying that. 3 chords start playing. Story of my life. Story of my life.
In 2023, Story of My Life starts playing. I fucking fall to the ground.
We all it was me, Ava, my sister Alina, and my best friend Tina. And we immediately all just fell to the floor. I am like hysterically crying because I'm like, there is no way he's singing a One Direction song right now. I have not heard this song since 2014.
Literally. Could not believe it. I just like blacked out. I fell to the floor, started sobbing my eyes out, and I like couldn't. I feel like I couldn't stand the rest of the time because I was like holding on to Cheyenne, like, oh my god, my knees are gonna give out on me. Like I was just so. I don't even know. Like,
There's
I
like
couldn't do it afterwards.
no words for it. And then it's like immediate post-concert depression hit, and we walked out of the building and we were just like, that was it. That was our peak.
Literally sat on the curb outside afterwards. Like, where do we go from now? Where do we go from this?
Then we just went to Cheesecake Factory and cried for 2 hours, being delusional, and it was one of the best days of my life. I don't know how we got so lucky.
Yeah, me either.
We're
And
just
like the fact that we both got tickets to it,
yeah. I think that
crazy.
also we were like, this is a
Yeah,
scam. We both won tickets to this. No way. And
yeah. But like anytime that one of the members of One Direction plays a One Direction song in their set list at their concert, like it's just so crazy to hear like a One Direction song from like one of the members individually. Um, Definitely tired of hearing "What Makes You Beautiful" though.
that
Harry,
song,
please pick a new song.
literally any other song. I'll take Na 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 over What Makes You Beautiful. I don't care. I don't care. I'm so tired of that song. There's no way that's your favorite song.
Yeah, we also heard "Where Do Broken Hearts Go"
Yeah. And
at
then
Louis' concert at the Hollywood Bowl, and
we heard Little Black Dress from the tour before.
yeah,
Um, I've seen Harry on live on tour, his first tour, and he did If I Could Fly. Amazing.
life changing.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
We have not seen Liam.
We have not seen Liam,
Yeah, he doesn't really do shows here. Yeah. Love you.
but like,
I'm sorry. Every time I talk about Liam, I just imagine him dancing to Strip That Down for me.
no, because it's literally playing in my head right now. When you mentioned his name, I was like,
You know,
oh,
I used to
strip
be
that
in
down.
1D. We know. We know we were there.
Like, yeah, all of your listeners are from One Direction, of course we know.
What is your favorite One Direction album?
Oh, this is so hard. Probably, I love Four. But I also love Take Me Home. But I also love Midnight Memories. But I would probably say Four.
I think I love, love, love Take Me Home. It's such a good album. That was like the first album of theirs that I was like front to back, knew every word. I had everything Take Me Home tour. Like any kind of merch that was Take Me Home, like I wanted it, I needed it, I had it. Um, but also Made in the AM is so good. I think with all five of them, I would probably say Take Me Home though. It's just very also nostalgic for me, so it like brings back a lot of memories, that album. So I'm gonna go that. But Made in the AM is incredible. And it's a shame that Zayn wasn't on it because there's notes that I'm like, he would have killed that.
The vocals, the notes that he would have hit in the album are
Mm-hmm.
crazy. We definitely missed out on that.
But Midnight Memories is so
Midnight
good too.
Memories
Oh my
is
god, there's so
good. And
many.
it's also like so nostalgic
Yeah.
because that was my first time seeing One Direction concert.
I think we were there the same day, just
Yeah, we were.
not together. It was Niall's 21st birthday.
And I don't remember a thing about it. I was like, what year was that? I was maybe 10.
2014?
I was like 9, 10.
Yeah. It's 10 years ago. That's crazy.
And I don't remember a single thing about it. And I have no videos of it. They're probably on like my laptop that my parents have, but the desktop that my parents have, but like it doesn't work anymore. So I don't have
Yeah,
any
same.
footage of it or anything.
Yeah, I didn't have an iPhone then, so it was definitely like Android quality, but like 2014 Android quality, so terrible. So I think even if I had videos, they would just look like pixelated blobs. So I obviously, I mean, was not front row in any by any means, but I definitely was like up top. I went 2 days for the Where We Are tour, and it was incredible. Had I had known that would be the last time that I seen them live, I definitely would have taken more pictures, bought more merch, you know, but we had no idea what was coming that next year.
Yeah, we didn't know there was like a tsunami coming right for us.
I do have a note. There's no context behind it whatsoever, but it is in all caps. So I feel like we have to talk about it. The One Direction frat boy era. I feel like it would be a disservice for the One Direction fans if we did not talk about Frat Boy.
Yeah, I think it was their prime as teenagers, and like we both saw them in the flesh during their frat boy era, so that was definitely a time to be alive.
Yeah, I feel like the most memorable like pictures, videos, anything is like frat boy era. Or if anyone refers to like, do you like Harry Styles? Well, did you see him in the frat boy era? Like times were just so different with them being 19 to like 22-year-olds. It was wild. And I think the frat boy era started like all their different eras, like long hair Harry and like all of that stuff. It just was like top tier, I think, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I think like you said, the pictures during that time were chef's kiss, just perfect. And
Especially the Harry and Niall frat boy one when they're like
yeah,
leaned,
yeah, I know.
looking back.
You guys know.
You know,
If you don't know, look it up. You'll
just
know.
literally just Google Harry and Niall frat boy era. It'll probably be like the first picture that pops up.
Yeah.
But what a time to be alive, truly. And I'm so thankful that we got to witness that. And one of my favorite eras for sure.
Definitely a favorite era of mine. Um, Random question, which was your favorite friendship?
I think Harry and Niall, it's just, they're so good together. They're so funny. They're extremely, like, everyone loves them. And if you don't love the Nary friendship,
What are you doing?
yeah, what are you doing? I think, like, also Harry and Zayn were a favorite of mine, but I think, like, the most memorable moments, interviews, anything like that comes from Harry and Niall. So I'm going to say they're my favorite friendship.
Yeah, I would definitely say Harry and Niall also. Um, but I loved how like chaotic, I guess, Liam and Louis' friendship was on
Yeah,
stage.
they definitely had a love hate relationship. I think like obviously it was always friendly on stage, and they were just kind of like older brother, little brother kind of situation. But they were always messing with each other at all times. Also, the "What Makes You Beautiful" pantsing of Harry, that I think we were like, whoa,
Whoa there.
what is happening? Um, yeah, I mean, you were even younger, but I feel like when they were in their frat boy era, I was only like 14 or 15, so never in my life did I have a chance with One Direction, but then Liam got engaged to this person that was younger than me, and I'm like, wow, maybe we did have a chance.
Could have happened. Missed your shot.
Damn. Maybe in another life. I'm a rock star girlfriend or something. Okay, no, actually, since we're there, we're talking about Liam. What are your thoughts on Liam being the lead of One Direction? I don't think it's true at all.
I don't think I think when I look at it, I mean, who do you think when you look at them? Because I feel like I think Harry.
I think Harry was more the lead than Liam was. I think Liam was put in this like lead category because he was the only one that kind of knew what he was doing as far as like performing and stuff. He had been on X Factor previously. He had been performing a lot longer than I think any of them had. So I think he was like daddy direction. He was always like the parent figure, I guess, of them. So I think that just kind of put him in this like lead role. But I don't think when I think of a lead for One Direction, it was Liam.
Yeah, and also like just because we're saying like, oh, I see this person as a lead, in reality, like I don't think that either of us really saw that there was a lead in the band. Like I think that they were all so collectively like a group.
Yeah.
There was never one person that shined over another. And I just feel like they were all really involved in it.
Yeah, they were. I mean, I feel like as albums progressed, they started bringing in like Niall and Louis more, which was great because they were snubbed the first like 3 albums, I think. Um, but I think like once they started seeing their potential, like they got more comfortable, were given that chance. But I don't, sorry about my kids. When I think One Direction, I don't think there's like a front man necessarily. Like I think they all had their roles and they all did what they needed to do. I think if I like absolutely had to pick like a lead person, I would probably say Harry though.
Agreed.
Well, we're gonna get into the topic that we don't really want to talk about. So, Ava, where were you when Zayn left One Direction?
I don't know. I literally don't know. I think that I blocked that part of my life out of my memory forever.
I know exactly where it was. I would also like to throw out there that I was very well known in high school for being the One Direction girl. Like anything One Direction related, everyone knew to like come to me. Obviously, my friends at the time like knew I was obsessed with them. And when I got the notification, I like I said before, I had a fan account. So I had a bunch of like notifications when like update accounts would like post stuff, or when they posted stuff I would get notifications. And the One Direction Facebook page posted, I don't even remember what it was titled, but it was a letter from Zayn, and it was his like letter that he was leaving, and he hopes everyone understands. And I was completely like broken. I remember immediately crying and saying, "This is not real. This isn't happening. Like they're just playing a joke." Like I just feel like at the time there was no signs for us at least. And it just was so it came out of nowhere. So we were just like, "What's going on? What does this mean for One Direction?" And then in the letter, like I think it said we're still continuing to like be a band. Zayn's just decided to leave, to focus on himself. And it just was like my world came crashing down at the time. I think I was 15. I think, yeah, I was like maybe 16, but these boys were like my whole world. Like they were my happy place. Like I had a lot of issues with my mental health, so they were like the one thing that I like looked forward to at all times. So I think it just was like a huge slap in the face, and I was like, what am I going to do now? Like I don't know. I was devastated. And I even called my mom and was like, come pick me up. Like, I can't be here. And she's like, you're ridiculous. No. And I cried forever. So I still cry about it.
We still cry about it.
Yeah, that was a sad, sad day in 2015. And I have not recovered. But we know now, obviously, why he left. And he had his own mental health issues. He just wanted to be free, be his own person, which, like, totally understandable. And,
Yeah.
he's only human.
Yeah, I think that like when it first happened, we were all like, how could you do this? Like,
Yeah, he got a lot of shit. Like
yeah.
he went through a lot, I think. And, people, I don't want to say that we're like fake fans, but people that just kind of like, I don't even know how to word it. I don't want to say fake fans, but people were just so angry with him. And I don't think he deserved it, like any of it. I think, like, obviously I was upset, but never was I like, fuck Zayn. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe he did that. And I was obviously angry and upset, but I mean, what are you going to do? It already happened. Like, he had made a decision. It is what it is. We kind of just go on from here and hope that everything stays the same.
Yeah, I think that um what do I think? I had it and then I yawned.
It was like I blacked all of this out. So thanks for bringing it up again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I literally don't remember any of it. I have like no memory of my childhood. But yeah, I think that definitely like understandable, like you're hurt that he left, but like the hate that he got, was just like so disrespectful. And I think now that we know why he left and what each and every one of them went through, you know, they had all sorts of struggles. Like, I don't know, you just can't be like upset about it now,
Yeah.
I feel like. And they're like all thriving. They're all doing their own things and like
I
you're
think it would have eventually, they would have broken up anyway. And I feel like it's a lot to just be like, it was Zayn's fault. I think it was, he left for his own reasons. And the other boys kind of took that as an opportunity to be like, let's, you know, do our own thing. And I think Louis was left out of the group chat, but, you know, we're whatever. I think Louis was left in the dark a lot of it because he was like, yeah, 18 months, we're going to be back. And even in his documentary, he was like, I literally waited those 18 months and then I released music. Like, I think he was as hopeful as the rest of us. But
I made me cry right now thinking about that. Like how sad and like disappointing he must have been to realize and come to the realization that like it wasn't going to be 18 months.
Yeah.
And now like 10 years later, here we are. And
10, almost 10 years.
I'm literally going to cry right now, but like 10 years later, here we are. Still no reunion. And like
We'll take anything. Like even the briefest little like comments on that they comment on each other's posts were like, oh my god, it's a One Direction reunion. It's
yeah,
not
or like
really...
when I don't know who it was, but someone was like, "Yeah, we have a group chat, all of us together." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
good to know."
good to know.
They're planning that reunion.
Zayn has his notifications silenced on that one, but you know, yeah. I also think the most like heartbreaking thing was the Niall and, or not Niall, sorry, the Louis and Zayn fallout. I think that was really hard because they were so close, and they just, you know, it's kind of hard to come back from a friendship breakup like that, especially so publicly. So I hope that they can come to terms where they're like civil and not completely angry with each other. But
Yeah, I feel like also Louis, kind of felt like he was abandoning
yeah,
like the whole thing, which like you know he was also going through that stuff too. So
yeah,
like
it was
I don't
just,
know,
it was a,
it's like a touchy
yeah, it
subject.
is. But I hope to see them like friendly at least. Not, they don't have to be like best friends, but I would hope that sometime in the future that we get some kind of interaction that's like friendly or peaceful. I think if anyone were to like bring One Direction back, it would be Louis. I feel like Louis or Niall. But I feel like Louis would be like, come on, like we got to do something for the fans, or maybe not like a whole album or a whole tour, but they would do something like, hopefully.
Yeah. Can we, now that we're talking about that quickly, can we talk about the 2020 reunion that happened? Or not the reunion, but like it was like their 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, I don't. I have also blacked that out because I was like, well, what are you talking about until you said that?
Literally stayed up to like the early morning. For what? A website? Like, we were robbed.
For stickers that I could save on my computer, a Spotify playlist that we already probably had in our playlist. Like,
we were so robbed, and like they hyped it up. I don't know if we hyped it up or they hyped it up, but like
our Delulu probably hyped it up a little bit. But you know what?
it was our delusion.
I feel like we just kind of expected more, but I think maybe they're all still healing in a way and they can't, or contracts, I don't know, but I think 15 years, let's do something a little more than that.
Years.
That's next year.
That's crazy to think about.
Holy, I feel like 10 years just happened.
Yeah, I feel like that was just yesterday. Like I remember that day so vividly.
No, they've been broken up for almost 10 years. That is wild. And I think the thing that makes me more sad is like they are now officially broken up longer than they were a band.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, on to the next.
I get it.
Subject. I also realized that I also realized when I asked for favorite album, I didn't ask for favorite song. So Ava, let me know. Let the listeners know, what is your favorite One Direction song?
I am Cloud's number one fan. Clouds from 4 is everything to me, and I hate that was their opener for the tour because I didn't get to experience that, and I think about it every day. Like, what an amazing opener. That song is so perfect.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know if you have a favorite song, but if you do, throw it out there.
I feel like I have two very different songs. Kind of. They're on like the furthest albums apart, but I think my all time, if I could only absolutely pick one, I'd probably pick Fool's Gold. I love that song so very much. The lyrics, gut wrenching. It's such a good song. But I will say, I think my number one most played One Direction song is currently They Don't Know About Us. They're both so good. I think I can't even talk about their music. I get all like but yeah, those songs are everything to me.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty solid lineup. Like Clouds, Fool's Gold.
They Don't Know About Us.
Yeah. Great picks, honestly.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you to One Direction for writing those songs, because they are the soundtrack to our lives now. I get so like happy but also so sad when I listen to my One Direction playlist, because like I just remember, like I get these rush of memories, and it's crazy to think that I'm not 15 years old anymore and
Yeah.
listening to these albums for the first time. Every November we get an album. When November comes around, I get so sad, and I'm like, time to put on the One Direction playlist.
Yeah, I also feel like it's a constant like thing that we're mourning like what could have been with the band, and especially now cuz we don't see them all together
Yeah.
like social media or whatever. It's like I wonder what it would have been if things didn't end the way they did.
No, I'm sad. I can't say, I mean, our friends and family are so fucking tired of us being like, One Direction, One Direction, Harry Styles, Niall. But like, God, they made me so happy in such a dark time of my life, and I'm just like so incredibly thankful. And I don't think people on the outside of the fandom like truly get it, and kind of sucks, but I'm never gonna like downplay it, because they were absolutely everything to us. They still will be, even if they're not a band currently. I will always support them, and I'm so 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 excited to see what they have next. Hopefully, even just individually, you know. they they literally like they truly saved my life. So I like owe so much to them. And oh my god, I didn't even talk about this. I met Louis. I don't even remember what year it was. It was the year that he did Jingle Ball Village. He was outside performing, and I was with my friend Drea, and I don't know how she finessed getting these passes to meet Louis Tomlinson. And I was trying so hard. We separated, tried to get like these passes. She came back, I got him, I got him. And I was like, I cannot meet Louis. Like, there's no way. And I wanted to tell him so many things, and it happened so quickly. But the only thing that I could like get out there was like, thank you so much. I'm gonna start crying. Thank you so much. Like, you literally saved my life, and like I love you so much. And he is so so sweet. Like, you can tell that he loves his fans with absolutely everything in his soul, and he was just so appreciative of everyone that he met, and was just like, thanks for coming, thanks for supporting all these years, or even if you're a new fan. Like, he was so, it was like a 1 minute meeting, but he was just very like, everything is about you, we're talking about you, and thank you for supporting me. And that was another peak in my life.
Yeah, I can't even imagine like meeting any of them. Being able to like hug any of them would just be like the wildest thing ever.
Yeah, I I feel like it was just like a fever dream. Like it's one of the very small, short moments that I remember. But I think if I were to ever be in a situation where I met Harry Styles, I just could not do it. I don't think I could. I don't think I want to meet Harry Styles. He's like too intimidating to me. He's just too much. Like he's Harry Styles.
Yeah, I think we always talk about this. Like, you always see videos of him or like fans going up to him when he's like on a run and asking for a photo and him being like, "Do you mind if we not?" We always talk about this. Like, I would run away. I would pass out. Like, I would never be able to leave my house again if he told me, "Can we not?"
Can
Like,
we just not? Sorry, but no thanks.
yeah, like that would be terrifying. Imagine being rejected by Harry Styles. Like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think maybe that is also a fear of meeting him. Like, I don't want him to be like, not today, sorry. And like, I don't necessarily need the photo, but I think if I was like, can I get a hug? Like, hi, I love you so much. And he's just like, no, I can't. And obviously, there's like a time and a place to do that. Not like, well, he's at dinner with his family, but like people just run into him casually on the street. And sometimes he'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever. But most of the time, he's just like, no, like, I'm on break, can we not? And it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, I would be so crushed the one time I met Harry Styles, and he's just like, sorry.
Yeah, like I get it, but at the same time, I'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened to me."
Okay. Oh my god, I can't. That's too much. I think the easiest for us to meet would be Niall.
Niall. Because I feel like we've already met Niall. Like,
Yeah, we've just been in such close proximity to him so frequently, especially like in a short period of time. So it just feels like we're friends, And obviously, he's like no fucking clue who we
he's like,
are.
"Who the fuck are these girls?"
But yeah, I think he's the easiest to approach as far as like them. I think, and yeah, I can't even imagine meeting anybody else. I think we've hit all the points that we wanted to hit today. If we did not mention any of your favorite One Direction moments, please feel free to comment them down below. Send us a DM. We can make a whole other episode on whatever you want us to talk about. One Direction, 5 Seconds of Summer. I was the 5 Seconds of Summer queen, and we were lucky enough to experience them open multiple times for One Direction. And yeah, I feel like we're truly blessed to have experienced some of the things that we have.
Yeah, not just like One Direction related, but like their solo careers, like everything. We've just experienced so much with them, and especially like together, we've experienced so much. Um, but yeah, like also if you guys want to comment or DM us like your favorite One Direction song or One Direction album, like anything that we talked about, DM us. We're down to chat about all of this, obviously.
Yep. It's just a topic that we never get tired of talking about. I mean, look at all these years later and we're still One Direction
Still ranting about
girlies.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to check us out on all of our social media, it is Keeping It Chaotic Pod on everything: TikTok, Instagram. Our Instagrams and TikToks will be linked down below, so you can check that out as well. We are on all streaming platforms as of now. And yeah, any shares, likes, comments, messages, anything like is so appreciated. We love you so much.
Yeah.
And yeah,
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
bye.
Bye.